Section 380, lines, thank you, 14153 through 14178. Can you tell me what the intent of that language says, through you, Mr. Speaker?
Representative Abercrombie.
14153. That's the
It's on page 457 of the implementer, 456 and 457.
Representative Abercrombie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Through you.
Thank you, Wish.
What that section tries to get at is, you know, we hear year after year after year that the employees through the nursing homes are not paid a decent wage. And what this section does is it puts money in the budget that goes to direct workers' care, not to the nursing homes themselves, because we feel that the workers are not getting paid a fair wage. So this section puts money in the budget that'll go to direct workers' care payments. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Wood.
Does it specify, for the direct care workers, does it specify union or non-union members? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Abercrombie.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, it goes to both. It does not differentiate. Oh, sorry. It
Differentiate.
Thank you. It does. Thank you. Sorry. It's a little late now.
Really?
Between union and non-union. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Wood.
It does not differentiate, yet what my understanding is that $9 million is going to 60 unionized nursing homes, and only $4 million is going to the other 170 non-union nursing homes. So that does differentiate, does it not? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Abercrombie.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, the way I read the legislation, it says up to $9 million could be used in the collective bargaining agreements. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Wood.
$9 million is allocated for the unionized nursing homes. How much is allocated for the non-unionized nursing homes? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Abercrombie.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, it's not $9 million. It's stated in the legislation up to $9 million could be allocated towards collective bargaining, but there's $12 million in the budget that will go towards direct care in nursing homes. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Wood.
Right, I got your point. It's up to $9 million, but come on, we all know what spending goes on in this building. Up to $9 million goes to the 60 unionized nursing homes, and up to $3 to $4 million goes to the 170 non-union nursing homes. Is that correct? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Abercrombie.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, the way I read it is that the commissioner can use up to $9 million through the collective bargaining agreements, and then up to, and I apologize, I thought it was $12 million, but there was $13 million put in the budget for nursing homes, will go to the other nursing homes. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Wood.
Thank you for that answer, Representative Abercrombie. I'm curious why there is such disparity between the two numbers, between union and non-union nursing homes. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Abercrombie.
I think the hope is, you know, we do not want any of our nursing homes to go on strike. We want to make sure that the people that are in our nursing homes are being well taken care of. We know that we do not pay our employees of the nursing home enough money. So when we put the $13 million into the budget, we wanted to make sure that it was allocated for direct care. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Wood.
Thank you, but it's not allocated fairly. Nobody could argue that. Would you argue that would you feel that this is allocated fairly between the balance of union and non-union nursing homes? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Abercrombie.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, the way the legislation is written, if you read it, it says that DSS commissioner will adjust the rates based on the cost reports of the nursing homes. So I can't tell you what the nursing home reports are at this point. I don't have those in front of me. So it's going to determine what their reports come to at DSS as to how much each nursing home is going to get. Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Wood.
But the language talks about the nursing homes with collective bargaining agreements, and I just wonder, are the nursing homes that are unionized paid less than the salaries for direct care workers paid less than those who are non-union? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Abercrombie.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I don't have that information. I apologize.
Representative Wood.
Thank you. I'm just trying to get to the root of why there's such discrepancy between the union and a non-union nursing homes. It just seems patently unfair. It's not equality. It's simply not right. I think when the citizens of the state hear this, I know one of the news sources covered this today, and a number of people, I got emails from 5 or 6 people today on this saying they were baffled. They didn't understand it. So I'm trying to get to the root of why this is so that I can explain it to them. What this does is it's an increase of 0.75% for the non-union nursing homes, yet it's a 5.5% increase for the unionized working homes. So I'm trying to get to the root of how that math works and how that came to be. Through you, Mr. Speaker.